Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerry Sansing with another edition of South Texas News and Reviews. It's October 28th, a beautiful Sunday on 2018. Air times for this are Tuesday at 9 p.m., Wednesday at 8, that should be Wednesday at 9 also. And then there's my email address. It's gsansing at gmail.com, and let me know. I need to correct that Wednesday. It is Wednesday at 9 o'clock. I've made a mistake, and Mr. Gordy's going to be all over me for that one. But anyway, Mr. Gordy's the president of the POG 10 and the PAC 10 for our system here. He's going to pick up on this, so I apologize, Jack. I'll correct that. That is Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Anyway, I'm going to be right back with this, and we've got some real, I think, interesting topics for you this evening. Take care. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the camera's rolling. The lights are on. I'm going to take my seat over here at the hotspot, and we'll see what we can discuss this evening. If you're watching these in sequence, I was blasting some things on the what's happening in Corpus Christi, Texas. This is the South Texas News and Reviews. This is an hour show that I've done, it seems like forever. I'm glad to be able to do this and pass on some information to you. And you know, I've got a lot of people watching this thing, and I don't know if they'll admit it, since I'm one that makes people uncomfortable and fearful. And but you know, I hope some people will step up and say, you know, all he's trying to do is to get everybody in this community a fair shake, no matter what color you are, gender, age, sex, whatever, you know, and so forth and so on. And I'm just going to explain in a minute where I grew up and why I can say things like that. Now, I've held this up many times. This is old Pinocchio. He's being given absolute hell by Jiminy Cricket because he's lying, and his nose keeps growing. And several of the news stations around and newspapers will say you've got so many Pinocchios for the lies that you tell. And then, I know this is disgusting, but taxpayers, which all of you are out there, I hope, have to put up and hold the bag with all these wild and woolly things that the administrators and the elected officials around here want to do to you, to mess you around, take all your money, and get money spent and make their buddies a lot of money. That's what it's all about, it seems like, these days. They don't give a damn about the common taxpayers and your families and your kids not being able to eat a meal at night. So you need to pay attention. But taxpayers always get caught holding the bag. And I think this exemplifies it. It's a little bit on the distasteful side, and I'm not the most tasteful guy around town. But anyway, this is called a pachyderm excrement, I think is the name of it. But here's a taxpayer holding the bag, and this is what you do all the time, folks. Is those, you know, all these politicians, these pachyderms, are giving you a bag full of excrement. Okay. So, you know, I've talked about bovine excrement, that's bull. I've talked about equine excrement, that's horse. I've talked about ovine excrement, those are sheep. I've talked about avian, which is chickens and so forth and so on, excrement, and et cetera, et cetera. So now I've got pachyderm, I guess, excrement. And that's what you're being fed on a daily basis by the elected officials around Corpus Christi, Texas, and the Del Mar College Board of Regents members. Not all of them. There are a couple of excellent ones that are trying to do the right thing for you, believe it or not. But then we've got CCISD, we've got the city, we've got the state, we've got the county, we've got, you know, all these other people just throwing all that excrement at you. And all I can say is the best thing you can do is go out and plant a garden and throw all that stuff in there and see if you can get some good stuff to grow. And I like the fact that Aislinn Campbell is doing the best she can to get the grow local and the farmers market down there and so forth going, so you can get some decent stuff for a change. And I hope she makes it into the mayorship. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not speaking for everybody around the neighborhood. Now, as Taxpayers Association president, we did have a meeting yesterday on October 27th, and we discussed an awful lot of things, including an awful lot to do with Del Mar College and the city and so forth. So I think rather than pick on Del Mar College right up front, I'll just go ahead and say that we have a member of the Taxpayers Association, Mr. Jack Gordy. He is my vice president, and he has stirred it up with the code enforcement around here. Now, what he's doing is he knows all of the rules and regulations about political signs. He goes around and he looks at political signs, and if they don't have the proper information on those, then he's going to say something about code enforcement, or to code enforcement. Code enforcement in this city doesn't give a damn about that. We're losing millions and millions of dollars every year because we've got a bunch of scoundrels and scoundrelettes going around that do not know how to write a campaign sign. They don't know how to present this. They don't know the rules and regulations of both the federal and the state highway beautification acts. And we're losing untold amounts of money, folks, because of the ignorance of the code enforcement around here and their lack of wanting to do anything. And then, you know, this is going to air after the elections are over. I hope that Mr. Pusley, who said he didn't give a damn about rules and regulations on signage and so forth, because the only person that's ever said anything to him about that was Jack Gordy. He has had code enforcement go out and pull up several of his illegal signs around, put in the wrong place. They don't, to my knowledge, they have not fined him for that, which I think is a crime. And I don't want a county judge that doesn't give a damn about what the public wants to do and how they want to do it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this aside for a minute, which is the Del Mar approves the South Side plan. I said that on the previous show if you're watching these in sequence, but I'm going to come back to that. And then I'll come back to also Del Mar College, a bunch of bullies over there. Now, as far as the bonds and so forth go around town, here's the letter to the editor. Know that bonds have to be paid off. Now, you people, every time there's a bond election, we've got a lot of pressure from the wealthy around here, the high rollers and so forth, to get all of their buddies to lean on all the people below them to go out and vote for these bonds. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to lose my voice, and I'm sure that everybody out there on the opposite side of me is praying for that, but I'm going to try to hold through it for the next 50 minutes, okay? Know that bonds have to be paid off. This came out on the 18th of October of this year, 2018. Want your taxes to increase? Question mark. Vote for all the bonds on the ballot. Approval of bonds only authorizes borrowing money that must be paid by raising taxes. One of the main reasons that taxes are high is because everyone treats bonds as free money to buy nice-to-have things. Okay? Now, bonds just increase public indebtedness. Just like when you go borrow to buy a new house or car, you have to start paying off the principal and interest. Invariably, approving bonds means that your taxes are going to increase by the schools and governments that receive approval to borrow money. Right? Vote only for bonds that are absolutely necessary and not for nice-to-have things. Voting to approve bonds will increase your taxes. And this was William Kerr from Corpus Christi, Texas on the 18th of October, 2018. Okay? And I've been preaching that for a long time. So when you go out and you approve a bond for new buildings at Del Mar College, let's say. I'm going to get back to Del Mar College and then I'll get into CCISD. Okay? Now when you approve a bond for $139 million to build a campus on 96 acres of swampland, okay, at Rodfield and Yorktown Roads, then you were coerced in doing that because we need a new campus. We need a house at least housing 20,000 students out there on that campus, and then still maintain buildings and expansions on East and West and Northwest Center. Folks, that's ludicrous. You've been bamboozled. That's the term. Okay? Now, then I'm going to go back and talk about that. But who's going to pay those bonds off? We've got $159 million going on to build new buildings on East and West Del Mar College. And we've got an insignificant increase in enrollment at those campuses since 1992. And then I'm going to read out of the Foghorn over here, the newspaper from Del Mar College, about the boondoggle and how much you've been messed around and believing all that garbage. Now, we had a bond and we built the high school out there, the Veterans High School out on Cimarron. Okay? Now, it's only half full. And how long is it going to take? Now, we hear from the Caller Times on one side of the coin that the CCISD student enrollment's going down, but then we hear that we need another billions of dollars and millions of dollars to go build another high school somewhere else when we're only half full out there on Cimarron. Now, what the hell is that all about? Okay? You're being duped, folks. All of your elected officials are in with the architects and the engineers and so forth and so on to just put up all this garbage. Okay? So it was back on October the 12th. It says CCISD names possible Carroll site. So now they want to build another big high school to take care of people, you know, and we can't fill up what we've got. Why not renovate the one over there on Weber? The campus over there. Land for high school sought since at least November. So here we've got these bozos on the CCISD board, okay, and they're out looking for a place so that they can build a new high school in addition to the one we've got over there in at the Veterans on the south side. Okay, what can I say, folks? Okay. The possible new Carroll High School will be built at the corner of Weber Road and Saratoga Boulevards. Okay? Have you ever been out there? Okay. Corpus Christi ISD Superintendent Roland Hernandez said, District spokeswoman Leanne Libby said the address will not be established until the November election. And I hope you vote that damn thing down, folks. Okay, we're going to find out before this thing airs. Corpus Christi ISD officials began looking to purchase a plot of land that will be a site for the new Carroll at least since November. Okay, the board has approved a resolution to be reimbursed for the land purchase once funds become available by way of a bond election. Okay. The school district will ask taxpayers to fund their 5th bond package in 10 years. Okay? The biggest and most anticipated expense on the project is the construction of a new Carroll, which makes up more than 80% of the bond. The district has been in negotiations to purchase the land for the new Carroll since at least last November. So this is a year, folks, and you're not paying attention. If voters approve the bond package, property owners would see a 6.6 cent increase per $100 taxable value on their 2019 tax bills. Your taxes are going up. Okay, I'll include Del Mar in a minute and the rest of these boondoggles. Okay, the bond will also fund a window replacement project for Ray High School, the construction of new gyms for Caffey and Grant Middle Schools, district-wide safety upgrades as per Governor Abbott's School and Firearm Safety Action Plan, district-wide technology upgrades, and locker room renovations at Hamlin, Brown, and Martin Middle Schools. Then, like I say, I think that was back on, what date was that? It looked like it was October the 12th. That was in the Caller Times, the Squalor Crimes is what I call it. Okay. On the 23rd of October, CCISD's $210 million bond proposal explained. Okay? And then they say Corpus Christi ISD is asking voters to approve a $210,770,000 bond to replace Carroll High School, upgrade several other campuses, implement new state security standards district-wide, and upgrade technology at several campuses. This is CCISD's fifth bond proposal in 10 years. The four previous voter-approved bonds totaled $611 million and built 13 new campuses, 5 of which replace and or consolidate existing schools, and 8 of which are responses to growth. Now, they just got through saying that the CCISD enrollment's down. So what is this double talk? It's called bovine excrement, folks. I've explained what bovine excrement is. That's bull stuff. Equine excrement's mixed in there. That's horse stuff. Ovine, that's sheep stuff. Porcine, that's pig stuff. Okay? Avian, that is chicken stuff. And you want me to go on and on and on, and then I just showed you pachyderm over there with this poor woman holding the bag with all that excrement coming out of that pachyderm, which is your elected officials trying to mess you over, to make their buddies in industry around here, you know, architects and engineers and contractors and so forth and so on, wealthy at your expense. And do you think they give a damn about you feeding your kids? No. They don't. If you look at the people on the Board of Regents over here at Del Mar and the City Council, they couldn't care less. Okay? The most noteworthy of the 13 new schools is Veterans Memorial High School, the district's 6th high school and its first new one since 1967. Is ISD asking too much? That's a lot of new buildings in 10 years. Also, the district spent $97 million on Veterans Memorial, which opened in 2015. The new Carroll, which would be a twin of Veterans Memorial, except for minor cosmetic differences, is projected to cost $175 million. Why so much more? And by the way, what's wrong with Old Carroll? It's a newer building than Miller and Ray. Okay? There are fair questions for taxpayers to ask, and from a purely tax burden point of view, many district residents who are registered to vote may be inclined to say enough's enough already, and this is dipping into the same well on one time too many. Okay? This bond would cost property owners 6.6 cents per $100 valuation. Del Mar College has just increased your Del Mar College taxes by 45%. When are you going to listen out there, folks? When are you going to pay attention? Now, I couldn't believe some of these questions coming from the Squalor Times. I mean, the Squalor Crimes, which is the Corpus Christi Caller Times newspaper. It's my personal opinion that they are corrupt also. See, they're the ones that make all the money on the ads to propose all this garbage. Okay? They're not gonna mess around and tell you the truth. You know, they don't know how to tell the truth at the Caller Times. They're 100% behind all this garbage, and especially the gal that does the reporting for Del Mar College. You know, it's a tragedy. Okay? Or not enough, and it goes on. What's wrong with Carroll? It tells you $175 million for one school. Good Lord. Okay, and then it says down here at the bottom, it says that let's see, where did that sentence start? Major construction underway for planned in and around Corpus Christi include billion and multi-billion-dollar industrial plants, the Harbor Bridge replacement, major hospital additions, non-CCISD school construction, a bank, a hotel on Shoreline Boulevard, and soon a Southside Del Mar College campaign. The contractor for a new Carroll will compete with all of those for the workers and materials. Yeah, isn't that terrible? If I was a contractor and a builder and an architect, to have all these people, you know, oh, it's competition with all these hundreds of millions of dollars for your time and so forth. So why not wait? Well, we don't need it. That's why we shouldn't wait. The other projects: 2 new middle school gyms, new lockers for 3 other middle schools, completion of renovations, and the aforementioned technology upgrades and safety and security additions through the city. Yeah, that's a lot of projects, folks. Okay, you're already paying through the nose. Is this another bait and switch? And you know, they go back with the caller times and give verbiage to that. New Carroll High School will be near a flight zone. This came out on the 27th, which was yesterday, in the caller times. Okay, I'm going to read this one to you. This ought to raise, you know, I mean, this ought to be interesting to you. A social media post urging Corpus Christi residents to vote against the school bond district's 2018 bond claim. The location for the proposed new Carroll High School was a safety concern. Okay, yeah, it is out there. Okay, I've been around military aviation all of my life. I remember when I was standing in my backyard as a 6, 7, 8-year-old in Albany, Georgia, and watching airplanes flown by World War II fighter pilots flame out and crash at the end of the runway, and hoping that, you know, hey, we're not close enough to burn up with this. And I wonder whose dad is that just go ahead and got killed out here today, and what funeral am I going to go to this week? That's what happens when you're a service brat and your dad is a very highly decorated fighter pilot coming back from World War II and settling in Albany, Georgia, Turner Air Force Base at the time, and transitioned from P-51 Mustangs into F-84 jet aircraft. And folks, I went to more funerals than you'll ever be able to count on both of your fingers on both of your hands, and I still, you know, I still weep with that. Okay, I had a lot of friends who lost their father doing that, and I've you know, the mothers of those kids were just devastated. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put New Carroll High School over there in a flight zone. Michael Miller, who said it in a Facebook post that he is working with his company near the property, posted photos of the site and screenshots of the Naval Air Station Joint Land Use Study that show flight paths and accidental zones, okay, or accident zones. The new proposed, I'm getting ahead of myself, I apologize. The new proposed site for Carroll High School is much closer to the airfield and is actually within the potential crash zone. His post read, not to mention the noise from all of the training planes flying overhead all day long. This is a major safety concern. Just another reason to vote no. Okay? Miller wrote in his post that his company had filed an FAA 7460 for new building because it was within the flight path of the airfield. I don't know. I'm going to have to look that one up. Okay? But Corpus Christi Independent School District official says its students and staff will be safe at the new campus. Yeah, until a T-44 crashes over there, or a T-6, or one of these other naval aircraft training missions over there. Folks, these people are nuts. Okay? All right, but Corpus Christi Independent School Districts, okay. CCISD's Associate Director of Communications, Lyndall Gaithright, told the Caller Times Friday that the school district met with both the city and the Navy before purchasing the property. We talked about what the zones were and came up with a plan, Gaithright said, okay. It will be no risk to students or faculty until something happens over there and somebody dies, and then all of a sudden we don't know anything about anything. Is that true, sir? Okay? You people are I hate to use the term morons, but you know, that's what we've got running this place around here. It will be no risk to students or faculty. Yeah, until the T-44 or one of the big, you know, other twins goes in, and even a T-6. I mean, I'm familiar with the naval aircraft around here, folks. You know, I've been with Air Force and Navy aircraft since I was 5 years old. My dad was one of the best P-51 pilots on the face of the earth. He trained me on how to fly. My first flight lesson was in a North American AT-6. Texan is the term for it, which was an advanced trainer in World War II. And, you know, I've flown things that people can only dream about with the Commemorative Air Force out of San Marcos, Texas. And that's another show, okay? So I know these airplanes. And I got my dear friend, as I mentioned, April 23, and she's an expert on naval aircraft, okay? She was a aircraft, what do they call that? Anyway, she was prepping the aircraft out here for the Navy instructor pilots and the instructors. Airplane captain, that's what it was. And then she was hassled by a bunch of greedy, old nasty people out there, males, of course. And she finally quit that. I did get her first logged flight in the Navy version of a North American AT-6. It's an SNJ-4, and she's pursuing a degree as we speak up in North Texas at a major university in aeronautical engineering, and she's going to pursue she's going to get her pilot's license, and I've had her fly some things that most people just dream about, and I'm going to continue that on. Thank you, Miss April 23. You're a dear heart. Friday afternoon, U.S. Navy planes were flying over the school site for more than an hour. The aircraft briefly landed on the nearby airfield, Cabinus Field, NOLF, behind Cabinus Athletic Complex before quickly taking off. Okay? Planes circled over St. John Paul II High School Bishop Garriaga Middle School, Most Precious Blood Catholic Church, and the new Carroll site before crossing Saratoga Boulevard to return to the airfield. I guess that's NAS. Gaithright said the campus will be outside of the zone, and the conditions will require some areas of the school to be sealed or open. The district will also have to watch for height restrictions when buildings, he said. We looked into this well before we purchased the property, Gaithright said. We wanted to make sure it was safe. Well, sir, I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and save some money, and I'm going to hire some of the most widely known and vicious personal injury attorneys in the state of Texas. We've got several here in town, and I'm going to, as soon as anyone is harmed over there, I'm going to have you arrested and hopefully put in the jailhouse to stand charges against putting our children at risk. Just because you believe that horse manure down there, bovine excrement, equine excrement, and so forth, that all of your rich buddies down there on the city council and on the CCISD board are preaching. Okay? You don't give a damn about the safety of students. You couldn't care less as long as you're making a good living over there. And I don't know how much they're paying you, but it's not enough to be, having your nose grow. Here you are, sir. There you go. I'm going to give you 4 Pinocchios for that. 4 is the ultimate Pinocchio list. And what was your name again? I want to meet you one of these days. Okay. Gaithright, Gathright. Okay. Where did you come from? I haven't heard your name before down there, but you're getting to be as bad as the rest of them. Okay. And then I'll switch this to another subject. Acceptance letters accidentally sent. Now, Texas A&M University Corpus Christi accidentally sent acceptance letters to all 252 applicants the spring 2019 pre-licensure nursing program. I hear there's a dog outside that's don't just disregard that. We have that happen in my neighborhood every once in a while. This is Studio One at my dining room table, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be totally honest with you with that. Okay? And we're halfway through the show. On Friday, all applicants to the spring of 2019 pre-licensure nursing program received an email stating they had been accepted into the program. A statement from the university reads, "The email was sent in error as only 133 applicants were accepted. Corrected letters were emailed to all applicants by 7 p.m. Friday." This came out on the 24th. Okay? This was a horrible mistake that has caused confusion and distress to 119 applicants, and we sincerely apologize to those individuals and their families, the statement reads. In response, we have implemented additional protocols to decrease the likelihood of this happening again. Now, I know that things happen, folks. Accidents happen and so forth and so on. But, students work real hard at Del Mar College, and I know at A&M Corpus Christi, to gain entrance into the nursing program. Now, I have taught at Del Mar College since 1989 when I retired from the pharmaceutical research business. My expertise was in the development of antimicrobial drugs and also in the area of bacterial and fungal toxins produced. I went through graduate school on grants. I wasn't an award-winning microbiologist like some people here in town are, and I was only awarded some of the grant money to do the research to produce and isolate, purify bacterial and fungal toxins. And then I went on from there into the antibiotic business, and where I was, we were also interested in the microbial toxins. Okay, and if I have a chance, I'll tell you about how sad it is to have a person move into a house in Arlington, Texas, have it molded up, and then have the management company just totally ignore everybody up there and have people running around with severe allergies, bloody noses, and stuff from the organisms that I have known about for since graduate school when I started in 1968. I hate to date myself like that. Yeah, I quit counting my birthdays. Actually, as of 2 days ago, when I was 21, I've quit counting for 52 years. But I think I know what I'm talking about. Most people don't. We've got all these award-winning microbiologists at Del Mar College, and they're out here lying about trademarks and everything else under the sun, which I won't get into tonight. It makes me want to vomit. People can't be honest anymore, okay? And the Del Mar College administration has been very, very active in denigrating faculty members. They're bullies over there, and I'm going to talk about that in the last half of this show. All right, but acceptance letters. Now, I'm sorry that happened. I do know that Mary Jane Hamilton, Dr. Hamilton, took over the A&M nursing program out there and turned it into quite a very reputable thing. And I just, for all of you students that were notified that you were there and you're not going to be able to attend, I apologize along with A&M Corpus Christi. They're doing their best over there, and when I'm perfect and quit screwing up, I'll let you know. That's probably about 3 days after they put my ashes in an urn somewhere. Okay. Now, another thing I've got an awful lot of respect for this man. Okay. Pastor. Some were shutting off water due to high bills. The city of Corpus Christi has been screwing around the residents here, the taxpayers, for a long time with the water bills. I remember getting a water bill several times, and I complained about it, and maybe that had something to do with them changing their their methods down there. But for a long time, I had, as a single person now, and my kids have moved out. I'm in a large house by myself. I do my dishes, I do my laundry on a timely basis. I'm fairly clean, and I take a shower every day, at least once a day. But my water bill for months and months was just about somewhere between $12 and $13 a month. And then I get these wastewater charges for $127. Now, how in the hell can I use $12 worth of water and get billed for $120 some odd worth of wastewater? It was a rip-off. So I'm going to go back through that and calculate how bad I've been screwed, and I think I'll just go sue the city and try to get my money back. Okay? Anyway, here's this one. Okay, now we're talking about the Washington Coals and so forth, those areas over there, you know, by the refineries, unfortunately. It says a pastor in Corpus Christi's north side wants to figure out what's going on with the city's water bill problem and find a resolution. Okay, according to a Facebook post on the Nueces County Politics page, the Reverend Adam Carrington will host a meeting at 5:30 p.m. Thursday at the Brooks AME Worship Center, Northport, in the Hillcrest neighborhood. That's Solomon Coles, you know, the Coles and so forth neighborhoods over there. Hillcrest is one of those. I am hosting a meeting this Thursday to discuss the water billing issue that was disputed or disrupted, that has disrupted our lives. Okay, it's hard to see with these lights on. Okay, Carrington wrote, new water bills exceeding $1,500 and others over $5,000 are ridiculous. Okay, now I have met the Reverend Adam Carrington. He's one great guy, okay, and I've tried to help get some people out of Washington Coles, Hillcrest area, and that failed. I had some people that were totally and completely against me over there, and I had to, you know, I had made the wrong choices on who to get to help me do that. And I got kicked in the back of the head several times, and I just had to back off from that. But my heart went out to those people. I guess they just didn't figure that I was really as sincere as I was about that. But I met Reverend Carrington, and he's one very, very fine individual, and I'm glad and I hope that he can go ahead and do this. Now, I had great reservations about contacting anybody over there after my experiences with trying to get some of the people out of those housing projects over there. I was willing to go ahead and try to get money to buy fourplexes and some rental units around Del Mar College East to relocate some of those, particularly the single mothers, get their kids in over there at the daycare center and so forth and so on, and provide them with scholarships to go over there and get a leg up taking Del Mar College courses. And I got shot down. I'm not bitter. I just, you know, I know when it's time for me to throw my hands up. Questions on Corpus Christi water billing get answers, and I don't think that there were many answers here in this one. This came out on the 6th of October. It shows some people over there at that meeting and so forth and so on. And you know, you can't get anything concrete from this city. You know, they're going to mess around with people, and I'll just say it, screwed taxpayers up big time, okay? And then it was until the 17th of October, new Corpus Christi water bill mailed out. Now that's when mine came down a little bit, okay? But I'm still paying an awful lot more for wastewater charges than I am for the water that I use. You know, I use about $12, $13 a month. That's enough to shower me once a day, or maybe twice on Saturday if I go out and get real sweaty and hot and so forth and so on. And you know, I do my laundry every once in a while, and I do my dishes and run the dishwasher when it's needed. But you know, for a single guy, and you know, hundreds of dollars in water bills are ridiculous. Okay, and then to charge the poor people over there in Washington Coles, Hillcrest area, you know, $5,000 for a water bill. Something's really screwed up there, folks. Okay, now I've got about 19 minutes left, and I know I've been rattling on, but let me just go ahead and say that I would like to take time with all you fine people to take and say a prayer, a silent prayer, for the individuals that were killed in Pittsburgh yesterday. Okay, and it's just been that recent by an absolute wacko, and it happens, folks. You know, people in this country, they, for whatever reason, they go wild, and they do some very despicable things. They go shoot up schools, they go shoot up synagogues, they go shoot up mosques, they go shoot up this, that, and the other, because they are deranged. And when you see somebody like that, then you need to be paying attention. And I'll talk about a sociopath that I have witnessed at Del Mar College, and Del Mar College is totally ignoring the fact that that person is a sociopath. And that's all I'm going to say. Okay? And that the human, you know, resources people at Del Mar College, I have absolutely zero respect for them. Okay? And then after I take about 20 seconds and pray for the Jewish community in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I will explain to you, and I'm going to be silent for about 10 or 15 seconds. Yahweh, please. Okay, I'm Jewish. I know I don't look like it. That's according to Buddy Venters when I had to say something about that. We had a person, a faculty member at Del Mar College, who was narrating the holiday concert a couple of years ago. He made some very derogatory statements about saying that he called his music chamber over there, those people at Del Mar College, the gas chamber. And then he looked out, and he apparently, I didn't see it, he was live on radio. I didn't see him in person, but I listened to this. And he said, where's the mariachi band? Oh, I know. They must be out looking for their green cards. Now, I complained as a Jew, okay, that I considered his remarks about the gas chamber to be totally out of line, and that I found that very offensive as a Jew. Okay? Now, the reaction when I filed that with the Human Resources Department of Del Mar College, there's a person over there, Mr. Jerry Henry, and he's the one that took the thing, and he called me in, and I went to meet with him, and he said, well, you know, we can't do anything about this because all that faculty member was, and he was a music faculty member, was trying to do was to instill humor in that holiday program. Now, how funny is it to make a statement about gas chambers when there were 6 million Jews plus how many other millions of people that were not Jewish that were exterminated by the Nazis? Adolf Hitler. How funny is that, ladies and gentlemen? That is absolutely hilarious. Okay? So now we have, and I'm waiting for some of those people over there in Human Resources to say that, you know, the massacre up there in Pittsburgh was just, hey, you know, that's humorous. It makes me want to vomit when I think of these people. And then we have a person or two over there at Del Mar College that are constantly, okay, complaining about the Jewish individuals whipping up on Palestinians. Now, Palestinians, as far as I can tell from my Jewish friends that live in Israel, okay, are sending rockets over into Israel trying to kill Jews off. So they retaliate. But I sat at a meeting one time with two professors, both PhDs at Del Mar College, and they started in a couple of years ago on how the Jews ought to be bombed into oblivion and wiped off the face of the earth because they were picking on Palestinians. And I pulled my Star of David right here out of my shirt, and I said, I don't want to hear any more about that, and I shut them up. What does it take? But we've got a human resources department over there that's supposed to take care of crap like that and protect people who think that anti-Semitic remarks are humorous. Can you believe that? So that's the reason that I'm so devastated with what happened in Pittsburgh. We don't need that. There are mosques that are being invaded. There are schoolhouses that are being invaded. You know, every religion in the world is being whacked on because of these idiots. And then when you find one and you report it, then human resources won't do anything about it. Okay? No, it's humorous. Yeah, it's real funny. 6 million Jews, plus I don't know how many other millions of people that were gassed and shot and thrown in ditches en masse. You know, and my father fought against that, folks, and I was brought up that way. All right, and then I've got about 13 minutes. We've got the latest Foghorn, October 22nd. Here we are, we're blatantly lying about Regents approved the Southside plan. We do not need a Southside campus for Del Mar College, especially out on 96 acres of swampland. It's a boondoggle. You've been messed around, folks. Do you know that the survey that was done at Del Mar College indicates that the classroom usage on East and West Campus and the Northwest Center stands at less than 40% during the day? And then they're over there preaching and lying to you that we're bursting at the seams with students, you know, and enrollments are just skyrocketing and all this horse manure, when since 1992 we haven't had a significant increase in enrollment. 1992. How many years is that? Okay? And then in the same Foghorn, they've got enrollment figures highest in 8 years. This is the biggest load of bovine excrement that I've seen in a long time. And this thing reads like a, you know, it's fairy tales, okay? It's complete equine, bovine, ovine, porcine, and avian excrement that I've seen in a long time. It's blatant lies. When you tell me that you've got you've gone up from 12 from, let's see, what was it, 10 years ago, yeah, we had 11,833, and then the enrollment went down from there, but now we're out at 12,222. That's an increase of roughly 400 students. That's highest in 8 years, and we need to build a campus out at Southside for $500 million ultimately for 15,000 students. They used to say 20,000, but they kind of backed off on that one, okay? Then you people are being screwed. You're being lied to. And then also in this, there was another thing that horrified me, and it's, it says, yes, oh yes, consent is sexy. Okay? Then they have a sexologist, Justine Shuley, I guess, holds Violet the Volvo puppet during her talk to Del Mar College students in the Retama room October 17th. Shuley said consent requires 4 things in communication. So here we are. Where are the pornographic cartoons that we had in the newspaper a while back? And then we still contend that it says the Del Mar College Foghorn News is not associated with Del Mar College. How much more bovine excrement can we have? And then this is another thing that horrifies me. We have a person at Del Mar College who has a bachelor's business administration degree He said that he was the expert in for informational technology and ran that whole department. Okay? And now he's the vice president of everything over there with construction and maintenance and all this other stuff. Now, there's a system over there on our DMC email. Okay? It's called DMC All. And I've used that before to raise hell with Del Mar College and everybody else. Okay? Now, just recently, what's happened is this person, okay, who's in charge of all that stuff. He's a vice president now with a BBA degree, and paid a hell of a lot more than I make. But anyway, what they've done is they've shut down that program, which was DMC All. So if I wanted to get a message to every person who is an employee at Del Mar College and the Board of Regents members, all 9 of them, then all I had to do is put it on DMC All. They have shut that down, and they claim that what has happened is that we don't, that it's trolling for these people that fish for information and so forth. Okay? Now that is bovine excrement, folks, along with a lot of equine excrement. So all they're trying to do is bully me. And there have been articles that I have read on here about bullying. And the administration is the one that condones the bullying of people to keep them, have them shut up. And there are an awful lot of people who need their job over there at Del Mar College. And, they're afraid to speak up with all the stuff that's going on over there. They're willing to be bullied to keep their jobs. Now, one thing that happens is we're paying Del Mar College instructors coming in with master's degrees, some of them with PhDs, and we're paying them less than CCISD does to hire a bachelor's degree teacher. Explain that one to me. Okay? So what you need to do is you need to start raising hell with the Board of Regents members. Okay? But can you believe that they shut down that? Okay? And shall we have a formal farewell for DMC? Should we all go over there and with our black suits on and have oh God, just have go over there like you do, go to a funeral and have a wake, okay? And it was disabled here short time ago. Only administrators can access that group or any other group as far as that goes. The ability to create groups in Outlook has also been disabled. So I can't get a group to go over there and get the word out to all the employees of Del Mar College as to what the hell's going on and how bad things stink. Okay? It concerns me very much that the board members and all of the media people, and then we've got KRIS, KIII, Caller Times, etc., we're all in the DMC All group. Okay? This person says that it is because of an increase in phishing and scams. Sounds very fishy to me, and it really does. It's bovine excrement, folks. So they're going to take away my rights and so forth to be able to contact all of my peer group, faculty members, staff members, and folks, we have some extremely fine non-academic people working at Del Mar College, and they're treated like crap every single day. Okay? They're being bullied. And so, let me give you the cure for that, okay? Now, here's a guy by the name of Mr. Trey McCampbell, okay? And he's at large, and he is the, quote, chair or president, whatever, of the Del Mar College Board of Regents, okay? So his email is Trey, TREY, MCCAMPBELL at delmar.edu, okay? So if you want to go ahead and voice your opinion of that, and it gives his awards down here. He was a Del Mar College 75 Distinguished Alumni in 2010, Leadership Corpus Christi Outstanding Alumnus in 2005, the Caller Times Person of the Year in 2003, and the NCCJ Humanitarian Award, whatever the hell that is, in 2002. He was a banker, okay? He was a vice president at one of the local banks. And here he was elected to the Del Mar College Board in 2004. He's outserved. He's been there too long. He earned an AA Associates in Arts from Del Mar College, a BBA from Texas A&I University, Corpus Christi, okay, and an MBA from Corpus Christi State University, now known as the Texas A&M University, Corpus Christi. Community service and board memberships include Leadership Corpus Christi, the class of 11, South Texas Public Broadcasting, Art Museum of South Texas, Texas A&M Health Science Center, Coastal Bend Advisory Board, and the First Christian Church, among many others. Okay? And he causes nothing but havoc over there. But go ahead and email him and tell him you're tired of this crap with Del Mar College, all the lies and so forth. And then we've got District 1, Gabe Rivas, okay? With his honey, he's always bouncing around town, you know, and all over the countryside at Del Mar College taxpayers' expense. And then we've got Carol Scott, Public Relations Consultant. She was the Public Relations person for the Las Brisas Energy Center, which was the group out of Houston that wanted to build that baby-killing thing. We've got a chiropractor here, Dr. Adame, okay? He's one. He's got Nick Adame. We've got Ed Bennett, who's the only one that earned a BBA in accounting and a master's in accountancy, and is he is a certified public accountant, much to Mr. McCampbell's dismay when we put him on the air, when he started crying that he didn't know that he couldn't claim to be a CPA if his license had lapsed. Yeah, right. And then we've got Elva Estrada. She's a former, I don't know, it's a high school or something. She, principal certification and so forth and so on, superintendent's certificate. She's never mind. And then we've got Hutchison, earned a BA with honors and special honors on Plan 2 from the University of Texas as a JD from University of Texas Law School. I think she should go ahead and be a mentor for Mr. Augustin Rivera, who's growing up as a general counsel all the time. And then we've got this gal, Messeberger, and she, Bachelor of Music from Texas A&I, Master of Science from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, retired choir director and administrator. She knows an awful lot about education, obviously. And then we've got Dr. Sherwood. She came out of Corpus A&M, and she's replaced somebody over there on the board, which I'll have to talk about later, and I'm running out of time. But folks, go into the web, WEB DMC, and look up these people's names as the Board of Regents members and start raising hell about them, because we are sinking real fast into the quagmire over there at Del Mar College. And we're going to be broke as all get out. We're spending more money than you can imagine over there for all this stuff. Okay, I've got about a little over a minute to go. I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to go ahead and zero in on these roses. They're the same ones I had on the what's going on in Corpus Christi. I couldn't find any fresh ones around town. It's that time of the year. But so you'll have to pardon me, but I'm going to let you see these dedicated to Miss Connie and Miss Lynn and Miss April 23. I'll be right back. Okay, there are the roses, folks, and I hope you enjoy those as much as I do. I'd love to go out and find some nice looking ones for my three ladies and try to, give you something to look at except my ugly face. But anyway, would you please email me at gsansing@gmail.com and let me know what you think. And please go into Web, WEB-DMC, and look up the email addresses of the people that we have on the Board of Regents and start raising unmitigated hell with them, okay? And then email me, like I say, and about any problems you got.